everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 action thriller Death Hunt, a film that is co-written and directed by Neil McKay, and it stars Marlene Malcolm, Omar Touche, Greg Johnson, Mason Cromwell, Michael Coughlin and Rick Amsbury. Now this film focuses on a land developer and his girlfriend who essentially are kidnapped by some locals as they are travelling through, taken out to like a remote island, and then they are told in no uncertain terms that they are going to be hunted. So they are then let loose with no way off this island, and then set upon and hunted by a group of lunatics, really. Right, what are my thoughts on Death Hunt? Well, it's a low-budget film that follows a very familiar pattern in regards to filmmaking. It's very similar concept to, Hard Target, those types of films, We've seen the concept done many, many times previously. Hunters hunting humans. Does this thing add anything new to the genre? Honestly, no. Is it watchable? I've seen worse this year, but this is certainly not what I would describe as a quality piece of filmmaking. I think the major issue I had with this film had nothing to do with acting or anything like that, really, even though some of that's not brilliant. It's the sound. It's got this really odd choice in regards to sound design. Now, some of it, when you watch it, you can't figure out if it's just poorly done, because sometimes you just can't hear the voices, and that's sometimes because it feels like it's been really poorly dubbed. And then at other times it's because the soundtrack, the music, is playing over the voices to such a level that you can barely hear what's being said. And it's really, really off-putting. Now, not that the dialogue here, is, award-winning or anything, but when you're watching a film, you'd quite like to listen to what the performers are saying. And an awful lot during this film, the music kind of just drowns out what people are saying, and it's really odd. I can't understand how it's kind of passed, quality checks sort of thing. I'm sure there's something they could have done about it before it was kind of unleashed on streaming platforms and things like that. So that for me is the major, major problem with this film. Beyond that, what we get is a very, very bog standard hunt film, really, that doesn't offer anything new to this genre at all. Now, other issues that I have with this film was essentially, they kidnap this land developer and his girlfriend and take them off to be hunted, basically. And it's very clear when they're on this island that they have been doing this for some time, because there's like bones and bodies everywhere. You can see they've been hunting humans for quite some time, so they've obviously been doing this for a while and taking people off, kidnapping them and hunting them, and there's no issue there. To me, they're not very clever in how they're choosing their victims. This guy, this land developer, is obviously well-to-do. He's got good connections with the locals because he's obviously wanted to develop the land there and develop projects, all this kind of stuff. It just seems like a pretty foolish target to choose. And initially you think when they're taken that it has got something to do with his land developing. It's got some connection to that, but in actual fact it turns out to be quite the opposite, really. They're just lunatics that like to kidnap people and hunt them, rather than hunting animals. So that didn't make sense. Another thing for me that just didn't make an awful lot of sense is the girlfriend character. Am I right? What am I thinking she's called? Brooke, I think she's called. Behaves normally at the beginning. She's very cryy, very upset, very scared. Terror. She's in sheer terror, really, about what is going on. And then almost out of nowhere, she turns into the female version of John Rambo, and she's avoiding grenades. She's taking people out left, right, and centre, and it just was unbelievable. You could not buy into it. If they had made it clear in the film that she had, military training or survivalist training, or she had some real grit and fight back, you could kind of buy into it a little bit. But she's not presented in this way at all at the beginning of the film. She's just a bog standard lady who, in actual fact, is cheating with this guy because he's married. She's just his bit on the side, really, and then boom, on this island, when she has to turn it on, she turns into Rambo, and she's kicking ass, jumping, avoiding grenades, and literally killing these guys who have been hunting humans for a considerable amount of time. So these guys aren't rookies by any stretch of the imagination, but they are no match for her. And I just couldn't buy into it. I just couldn't buy into much of this film. I think one of the things the film gets right is the gunplay is fairly believable and effective. The bullet effects, the sounds, when characters are being hit by bullets, it all feels very realistic, and their reactions to it and that kind of stuff. Sometimes you watch low budget films and you see like the blood packs go off, or they're not even that. Sometimes they're CGI sort of thing. And you just can't buy into it, and the sound from the weapons is just really cheap and poor. Not so much here. It all feels fairly believable and effective. So if you like this type of action film, like the Hard Target type of thing, there's stuff here for you to enjoy, the gunplay and all that kind of stuff. But there's far too many issues with this film for me to actually take it seriously, which is why I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. I will be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.